We are no fools on the heat. My people are no fools on the heat. You must let my people go, so we can rule from Cape to Cairo. You must free my people's hands, so we can rule our purpose land. I wanna know who owns the land. Who wanna know who owns the land? Okay, now listen carefully. Chinese are ruling the Chinese land. Japan is ruled by Japanese. England is governed by Englishmen. America is governed by Americans. So, Africa must be ruled by Africans. I wanna know who owns the land. We must rule from Cape to Cairo. We must rule our purpose land. I say, we wanna know who owns the land.
Hello and good evening, fellow Ambazonians. It's a privilege to come to you today, and we continue to ask the question. We want to know who owns the land. We want to know who owns the land. The Chinese are ruling the Chinese. The Americans are ruling America. Ambazonia, ladies and gentlemen, must rule Ambazonia. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the broadcast. It is very exciting to be coming to you today. I want to believe all of you had a very, very excellent weekend. I'm talking about those of you joining from ground zero. It's a privilege always to come to you with revolutionary updates. Thank you for tuning in. I also like to welcome all of you who are joining from the diaspora, from ground one to all of continental Africa. And of course, I'd like also to welcome all of you in Europe, the UK, the USA and Canada, and of course South America, and all of you tuning in from Asia, China, the Middle East, and so on. Thank you for tuning in. Please, those of you joining by way of Facebook and YouTube, go ahead and hit your share button to let others know that the anchor man is indeed alive. Not live, but alive. So please hit your share button. We have some very, very exciting issues to bring to you today, and to discuss and to hear from you. Of course, always like to open the phone lines to have you call and bring in your own contribution. This is the people's revolution, the people's struggle. And here at this interim government, we believe in listening to what you have to say, little contributions that you bring in times like this. So please, if you are joining by way of Facebook, you go ahead, hit your share button. Let the numbers quickly rise. I don't like the way they look now. 253. In the next 5 minutes, make it 700. Make it 700. Very, very quickly. We got so much to talk about today, and I'm going to be bringing you also, of course, my talking point and of course a panel that will be discussing these issues that I bring to you today. And so today I'm going to be talking about the draft. We can't say anything on ABC nowadays without going to the draft first, because it's an important subject. We're going to be talking about the draft, all roads leading to Manu this weekend. We also will be talking about the militarization or the invasion of by fear, and the setting up of so many French Cameroon camps across Ambazonia. Ladies and gentlemen, their camps are only growing. We've got to get rid of them. Then the main subject for discussion today is the incident that took place in Bamenda on Sunday. On Sunday, I'm going to be bringing you my talking points on that subject. And also, we have learned of so-called General Ikeku kidnapping humanitarian workers, international humanitarian workers in Bonge. We're going to be talking about that. Bishop John Egiawan will be here to talk about that. And then very, very bad news, very bad news coming to us from the Bamenda market, the main market in Bamenda in particular. We have been told that French Cameroon colonial officials are conniving with some leaders in the Bamenda main market, and they are losing their shops. And you know where the shops are going to? The shops are being given or sold to Bami or Bamelekis, Francophone traders in the Bamenda main market in particular. I'm going to be calling some names. And when I say names, I am referring to the leaders or the market leaders in the Bamenda main market. We're going to be putting out their names. We are passing a warning to them today, and I hope that they will sit up and avoid the kind of activity, the connivance that they are having with the French Cameroon Commerce Department of Station Bamenda, having them coming to harass traders, seize, confiscate their shops for so-called taxes unpaid. So we're going to be talking about that, ladies and gentlemen. So please, I can see the numbers are jumping now. Hit your share button for those of you joining by way of Facebook. Hit your share button. Let these numbers jump to 700 in the next 3 minutes. In the next 3 minutes, let's get it up to 700. Okay, and while you do so, let me do some housekeeping here, talking about the draft. This is, on behalf of this interim government, I really like to appreciate all of you out there who turned out last Saturday to draft for Bui County, Bui Warriors. Without your contributions, the Bui Warriors will not be able to do what they do today. And we really felt that it was necessary to start the momentum with the Bui Warriors, and many of you came out in your numbers. I watched the Zoom meeting. I was in there and I saw the numbers rise up to, very close to 250 in attendance at the Zoom meeting. Meanwhile, on ABC, there were over 500 who watched the draft on ABC. Some were calling in, some were using the chat rooms to make their payments. I hear some people out there complain, making the noise that, how come we drafted just $62,000? I will say to you, ladies and gentlemen, it is better, much better than what was drafted last year. We drafted 87,000 last year. That money half of it never came in. Half of it never came in. I'm talking about, I don't think they recovered up to 40,000 from 87,000 that they drafted last year. But this year, they drafted 62,000, and I can say, and I'm glad to say so, that about 80% or between 70 to 80% of what was drafted on Sunday was cash. So Bui has cash in their pockets, in their accounts. And let the Republic of Cameroon know we are getting more weapons, ladies and gentlemen. Bui is getting more weapons. This war has always started. Please hit your share button as you join. Quickly hit your share button as you join. Let others know I am live. So please go ahead, do that as you join the broadcast on Facebook. So I really like to appreciate all of you. And I would like you to know that Bowie is still collecting. Bowie is still accepting draft money, ladies and gentlemen. Bowie is still accepting your draft. So if for any reason you forgot or you failed to draft last Saturday for the Bowie Warriors, please, you can still do so. Under my screen or under your screen, you will find the crawling text there giving you payment information or draft information for Bowie County. There is other information there, but if you keep on watching or looking, you will find information there for payment methods for Bowie County, Bowie Warriors. General Isobo, we need to appreciate him. That is a general, a guy who has remained really, really quiet. In fact, I think if you mention his name, like I'm mentioning here on TV, many people won't know who he is. They wonder who is General Isobo. He is not like No PT, as popular as No PT or the Field Marshal in the BLM. He is not that popular as them. But this guy has led Bowie into battle after battle after battle, and they have given French Cameroon a match for their money. This guy is not very popular. In fact, the guy who is popular out there, I think, is General Hannock, the guy who put out their communication person who puts out information about Bowie. You never hear from Isobu. I don't think he ever made an audio. I have never listened to an audio from him. But this guy is doing a good job. The guy who took over from General Field Marshal Chacha. So please, if you failed to draft for Bowie last Saturday, you have payment information crawling under your screen there. Please let us continue to draft. Let us continue to draft for Bowie. They are making all of Ambazonia very, very proud. If you are a Bowie person in particular, please, I urge you, don't let your people down. Don't let the Bowie Warriors down. Oh, Honorable Weber, we should never forget, once told us during one of his fiery speech, told us that Banso people are warriors. And behold, we are seeing it. We are seeing it. They are leading the charge against French Cameroon in this war of independence. So please, again, you have payment information for Bowie County crawling on the bottom of your screen. Please, if you didn't draft for them. Support them. $20 cannot be small. $50 cannot be small. These boys are putting everything, I mean their own lives, on the line. And the best that we can do is to show them that we care, we support them, we stand with them, and give them our widow's mite. Please hit your share button. Again, 509. That is really slow. Ladies and gentlemen, that is really, really slow. If you are on Facebook, hit that share button. Hit that share button so I can quickly come to you with my presentation proper today. Again, please hit your share button. All right, I see the numbers jumping now. Thank you. Thank you. If you're just joining and you haven't hit your share button, go ahead, hit that share button so I can start this thing proper. But let me move to Manu, the land of the Sisikos. The Sisikos. All right. All routes, ladies and gentlemen, all routes this weekend lead to Manu. Now, Manu is a very, very strategic county for all of Ambazonia. I hope all of you know that. Manu has the biggest and the most popular international entryway into Ambazonia. I am talking about the in and out from Nigeria. The in and out from Nigeria. That border, land border, is the most popular entry in and out way into in and out of Ambazonia. But not only that, Manu started self-defense. Again, Manu launched self-defense when this struggle first began. Which means if Manu did not take the lead, maybe we would still be sitting here shouting and talking about the argument, or what the power of argument, or what do they call it? The power of argument, which could have led us to nowhere. But the power of argument will not take us to anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. That is the mistake that our forefathers made, our past leaders made. They thought that if they could sit on conference tables and talk and shout and put out petitions to La Republic of Cameroon and to the United Nations, that we will get independence. Of course, that was never going to happen. And La Republic loved that. They loved it because it didn't move a pin from anywhere. Can you imagine AAC 1 and 2, 1993 and 1994? With all the warnings? What did La Republic do? They did nothing. Even before then, do you remember the tripartite? When they came out promising to change and transform the country constitutionally, what did they do? I remember Ambassador Fosun there shouting to their ears on the television set, talking about going back to a federation. They made all the promises. They came out, they did nothing. Now, our picking up of arms to defend the territory has made them to call the so-called Grand National Dialogue and pronounce their special status. At least, it didn't meet our needs, of course not. But they tried to do something for the first time. Hello, can you hear me? The moment we pick up arms, they call for their Grand National Dialogue. What has Grand National Dialogue done? Window dressing to its best. So, the moment we pick up arms, they began to scramble about, calling for Grand National Dialogue, and then special status, and then regional councils, and so on and so forth, thinking that they can placate us to thinking they are now born again, that they can now compromise and live with us. I keep on asking, what right, what prerogative does La Republique du Cameroon think they can sit there in Yaoundé and spell out, determine what they think we should be, what should become of us, ladies and gentlemen? What powers, what authority do they have? They don't have that right anymore to sit there in Yaoundé and think they can decide whether we live or die. What form of government that we have? That era is gone. But I thank God for Manu. Manu started this thing. They were the first to pick up arms to defend Ambazonia. And ladies and gentlemen, up to this day, in spite of all the black legs coming from that county, Manu is still standing strong and giving La Republique du Cameroon a match for their money in their machines. And their scouts, Boy Scouts called Army. Manu is still up and strong in spite of all the confusionists coming from that county. I want to thank Comrade Willie here in Houston, doing a fabulous job as county chair. Of course, the Manu fighters and restoration fighters, thank you. Thank you. God bless you all, and may He continue to protect all of you out there. But ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ambazonians, the moment has come. We have to defend. We have to, stand with Manu, draft for Manu, support Manu, donate to Manu to continue to hold that county. Let's also not forget about that Paul Biya declared this war. Paul Biya declared this war because of Manu, because Manu picked up the arms. Do you remember that letter from the colonial divisional officer in Manu asking people to leave their homes because war was coming? The first refugees in this war came from Manu. And if you go to the refugee camps in Nigeria today, the majority, the overwhelming majority of refugees are from Manu. It is time we draft for Manu, ladies and gentlemen. So this weekend, all the routes from Donga Mantung, from Fako, from Meme, from Menchum, from Boyo, from Momo, from Lebialem, from Kupe Manuguba, from Indian, from Meme. Did I forget any other county? I will mention all. All the routes from all of Ambazonia lead to Manu. Let us stand with them, support them, and make sure that no county, that Manu is not left behind, ladies and gentlemen. So please, let us remember this coming Saturday is Manu Draft. Manu Draft is coming up this Saturday. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have other things to bring to you, but I think I should take you first to my talking points for the day. I should take you to my talking points for the day. I think before I take you there, let me take these other two items here about Bamenda, ladies and gentlemen. Something is going on in Bamenda that has been brought to our attention here at the interim government. We have traders from the Bamenda main market in particular under severe pressure from colonial officials with connivance with two leaders in the Bamenda main market getting colonial officials to come to the market, go to that market twice a year, forcing the traders to pay taxes. Now, but that is not the problem. The problem is that when the traders cannot pay the taxes, the traders are forced to give up on their shops. In other words, they are forced to give up on their only source of living, their only source of income. But the worst thing is that these shops are then taken from these traders, and guess who are giving? They are giving to? They are giving over to the Francophones, the Bamileke Francophones who need shops in that market. This is going on in the Bamenda main market, Bamenda food market, in Queen Market. We have received this information from people on the ground, and they have actually named the names of the leaders who are conniving with French Cameroon colonial officials to get legitimate Ambazonians lose their shops in the Bamenda main market. And these two leaders are one Abeze Ibrahim, and the other one is Mbe Leonard. These are the two leaders inside the Bamenda main market who are conniving with French Cameroon officials upstation. We are told that they operate from the Department of what? Department of Commerce. Department of Commerce upstation Bamenda. He said they come in three times every year and force people to pay taxes for business they haven't done. But not only that, we also learned that they call them attachments, a lot of shop attachments in the Bamenda main market. They are forcing Ambazonians out of that shop, Ambazonians who have paid lots and lots of money to own those shops. They are being forced out of those attachments. And guess who is buying the shop? The Bamilekes. The Bamilekes are taking over those shops in the Bamenda main market. Why Ambazonians who are paid for those attachments are made to forfeit their businesses? So we are passing a warning here at the interim government. Mr. Mbeze Abraham, sir, I have your photograph. I didn't want to put it on screen here. Mr. Mbe Leonard, I also have your image, but I am not putting it on screen here. I am hoping that you are watching and you are listening to me, and if you will continue to be a blackleg, a traitor in that market, selling other Ambazonian, legitimate Ambazonian traders in Bamenda, you will have to pay. And I mean it. You will have to pay. Again, Mbeze Abraham and Mbe Leonard. I don't want to put your images on the screen here, but we are giving you the opportunity to repent from the persecution that you are conniving with French Cameroon, Department of Commerce upstation in Bamenda, and the Colonial Council officials. The pain you are conniving with them to inflict upon innocent traders in Bamenda. We hope that you get this message. If this exercise continue, where traders in the main market in Bamenda are forced to pay colonial taxes to a regime that has been let go. Sir, we will make sure that you yourself, the both of you, own no shops in the Bamenda market. Not anywhere in Bamenda. Again, we will make sure and we will enforce it to make sure that both of you, Mbeze Abraham and Mbe Leonard, we will make sure that if this persecution continue, people's shops are seized, confiscated in Bamenda for some so-called dues, we will make sure you run and operate no shops anywhere in Bamenda. I just hope you get this message. All right, and if you didn't get it, anybody getting it, if you're in Bamenda main market, please let them know. This message is coming from the interim government. We have an eye on Mbeze Abraham and Mbe Leonard, the two leaders in the Bamenda main market conniving with colonial officials to enslave our traders inside the Bamenda market. Get the message to them, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching from ground zero. Now, this is also very, very important. La République du Cameroon, is increasingly setting up more camps, military camps in Ambazonia. It just doesn't appear like they are ready, ladies and gentlemen, to bring this war to an end. I really wonder what is going to happen by the time this war is over. We learned yesterday that French Cameroon has sent in 500 soldiers. 500 soldiers, send them into Bafia. They are going to build a camp there. Also, in other locations in Ambazonia, French Cameroon is setting up camps in every little community. So, I really don't know if La République du Cameroon really sees the need to resolve this conflict. Setting up camps in every little community is an indication they are preparing to fight for the long run. Which is why, ladies and gentlemen, we got to make sure we put money into the hands of our fighters so they got the right equipment to destabilize, burnt down every one of their barracks or camps found in our territory. At this moment, ladies and gentlemen, I will present my monologue. I will come to you with my monologue. And again, this is about the killing the other day inside Bamenda. It is very pathetic what we saw the other day, last Sunday, in Bamenda. I think we've had enough of those killings. We've had enough of those killings in Bamenda, and I think This one must be the end of it. This one must be the end of it. And to see the end of it, we've got to do something. We've got to do something, and it is a prescription that I bring to you today. The killing below Funchal Street last Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, should remind all of us, and our restoration forces in particular, that there is one front in this war that we have neglected. That front is constituted in all these occupying colonial military checkpoints that can be spotted everywhere in towns and cities in Amazonia. The checkpoints are not so preserves of Bamenda. They are in Kumba, in Boya, Mutengene, Tiko, Victoria, Manfe, Kumbo, Ikondo, Titi, and others. When the occupying Cameroon army that mans the checkpoints are not extorting money from our people, they are either arresting, detaining them, or framing them up with one crime or the other. Crimes they have not committed. Jibri in Jan wasn't supposed to die. He wasn't a fighter. The assassin's bullet didn't take him at a battlefront. He wasn't in possession of any ammunition. In fact, they didn't even know who he was. All they knew is that he was Amazonian. The French Cameroon soldier who shot and killed him made sure Jibri couldn't even get out of his vehicle before shooting. The bullet was surgically directed at him on the driver's seat. The evidence is right there on the windshield of the vehicle. That is to tell you that they just wanted to kill another Amazonian as they are used to. We note that Jibri wasn't the first casualty at this particular checkpoint. We have since learned that 4 civilians have previously been killed at this particular location by the very occupying French Cameroon army. One taxi man was killed there because he won't put out 500 francs bribe to them. The fact is that these checkpoints are traps to our people. How do you explain that this particular checkpoint below Funchal has within a very short period claimed the lives of 5 unarmed people? If that checkpoint isn't there, there will be no soldiers there. In other words, the soldiers were there comfortably in that matter because there was a checkpoint, a shelter for them essentially. And this takes me to the crux of this talking point. Ever since this war began, the number of militarized checkpoints in our major cities have only been on the increase. It is impossible to drive anywhere within most urban areas in Amazonia for 2 kilometers without finding a military checkpoint. At these checkpoints, our people are harassed. They are arrested, tortured, killed at gunpoint, and those who are fortunate to survive are forced to cough out hefty sums of money to the occupying soldiers before they can regain their freedoms. The absence of an ID card gets people paying into the hands of these unscrupulous and brutal elements amounts up to 100,000 francs. Money that most of our people cannot make even in 3 months. How come we allowed these checkpoints to stay this long? Were we hypnotized, or what really went wrong? I mean, think about it. We have decimated those along Ekok Mamfe Road, Batibo Bali Bamenda Road, Bamenda Santa Road, Kumba Mamfe Road, Kumba Boya Road, even Motengene Victoria Road. They are barely there. How did we allow them the comfort to set up these checkpoints in our inner cities? Fellow Ambazonians, let me give you the reason why. Every single checkpoint manned by French Cameroon soldiers in our territory is an affront to us, and why they must all go. Military checkpoints are not in our Anglo-Saxon heritage. They are foreign to our culture. Military checkpoints became fashionable in our territory solely as an instrument of harassment to get our parents pay taxes to the colonial masters, our colonizer. If you are as old as some of us are, you will recall how as a little child growing up, you witnessed those Calais checkpoints erected at every entrance to your local market. Every day, every market day. God forbid your father wasn't carrying his ID card with him. He was kicked, punched with the butt of their guns, dragged and bundled into their waiting Land Rovers and taken to the district detention centers. When they could not lay hands on you at the market square, they went compound to compound, door to door, breaking into them and forcing out our parents for ID cards and for tax receipts. This was totally repulsive, to say the least. Military checkpoints were never part of the Anglo-Saxon system we inherited, not at all. The day we said we and yes, French Cameroon descended upon our territory with a militarized regime, and that is how we find ourselves today. Checkpoints everywhere. In civilized communities, there shouldn't be any checkpoints within 1 or 2 kilometers. In fact, there should be absolutely no reason for one, where safety and security are not the reasons for it. In our case, these checkpoints have never been for security and safety of our people. They are meant to target the powerless. They are meant to extort money from our people. They are meant to profile your language. And of course, they are meant to serve as slaughter zones, slaughter points, as in the case below Foncha last Sunday and previously. Fellow Ambazonians, we have accommodated these checkpoints more than necessary for too long, to the extent that the killers in La République du Cameroun military uniforms have become so comfortable at those checkpoints. Let me ask this question, and I'm directing it first and foremost to the Ambazonia Restoration Forces. How do they think you can bring down their barracks without starting from these checkpoints, which have easiest access? The strategy should be to target them out of the roads, get them back into their barracks, and then you choke all of them there. From today, we declare an end to these permanent military, gendarmes or police checkpoints in all of Ambazonian streets and roads. Cameroon's genocide perpetrators, security should never again find a smidgen. They should never again find a smidgen of comfort to man any checkpoint anywhere in Ambazonia. As an Ambazonian, take this as a duty. See it as your responsibility to violate or tear down any La République du Cameroon military checkpoint you come across in our territory. And the lives of the soldiers manning the checkpoints must be made very, very miserable and uncomfortable. They live among you, locate them, and report them to the Ambazonia Restoration Forces. And please, please, do not think for a moment that Jibril could not be you. It was Jibril yesterday. It could be you, or it could be your own daddy, your own mommy, your own son, or your own daughter tomorrow. It is therefore incumbent upon us, ladies and gentlemen, to stop tomorrow's mother today by ending this culture of impunity where La République du Cameroun soldiers set up checkpoints, kill and extort from our people. Above all, we are asking the restoration forces, wherever you may be, going forward, to get rid of every military checkpoint you come across in all the towns and the cities of Ambazonia. We shouldn't forget that they are occupying forces. They are warmongers and must be treated as such. They should be driven out of town. And when they leave, look for their own families and get them to feel the pain of these other families. It's an eye for an eye, and it is war. Their lives are no more important, ladies and gentlemen, than the lives of Ambazonians they are killing on a daily basis. Any checkpoint manned by Cameroon soldiers should be considered an abomination and should not be allowed anywhere, any day in Ambazonia going forward. And should you meet any of them there, don't spare them. Once more, on behalf of the interim government, I bring condolences to the family of Jibril, and God bless all of you. And that is my talking point, ladies and gentlemen. I am now joined by Barrister John through, and so we're going to be talking about so many things here. Barrister John, you witnessed the killings of Saturday and the demonstrations in Bamenda, and what was going through your mind, Barrister John? Again, thanks for joining me, sir. I'd like to know what was going through your mind when you witnessed the demonstrations in Bamenda on Sunday after the killing of Jibril.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. Thank you for inviting me once more. It was a shocking incident. I was petrified, and I was comforted by the fact that the public in Bamenda, particularly in Quen, reacted. Jibril was a quiet gentleman. He was in that quarter, very well known, very popular, a likable person, funny person, and early Sunday afternoon, his life was taken by these people. It is just because of the Muslims. He is a Muslim. He's an Ambazonian from Kungu, but he's a Muslim. And because he's a Muslim, the population could not do what they wanted to do with the cops. They wanted to take the cops right to the military camp to give them to eat. But the imam, the imam of the central mosque said according to the Muslim tradition, he has to be buried quickly. So that is why the population brought back the corpse and handed them to his family. Listen, Chris, it is an eye opener to all of us. La République du Cameroun, I don't know what they want to do now. They are losing the war and they are becoming jitty. I cannot believe that inside the town they will be setting military outposts. They call them checkpoints, in the quarters. Below Poncha is a quarter. You go and set a military outpost there, and the population allows you, the restoration forces allows you, and you have successfully killed 5 of our people. Chris, from your monologue, I think that they've gotten our restoration forces have gotten the instructions to get rid of all checkpoints in Ambazonia, all. Because if you don't get rid of all those checkpoints, you won't be able to get to their main camp. You have to first of all, get rid of all those checkpoints inside the villages, inside the towns, everywhere in Ambazonia. Look at, these are young people protesting the death of one of theirs. They are not fighters. They are not the Ambazonian soldiers. They were living peacefully in their quarter, and you killed one of them, just like that. And you expect them to sit quiet. I think La Republic has pushed its luck too far. I think we have to step up, Chris. I know our restoration forces are doing a lot, but we need to put the correct materials in their hands to step up the firepower so that we can chase these idiots out of our territory. Because as long as one La Republic soldier remains on our territory, he remains a danger for us. Look at what has happened to Jibril. It could happen to me. It could happen to you, Chris. It could happen to any Ambazonian.
Yes, Barrister John, one thing that really surprised me was the fact that, something that occurred to me was the fact that we've driven them out of Ekok Manfe Road. We've driven them out of Kumba Boya Road, out of Bamenda, Santa Road. But how come we still had them? We still had them erecting checkpoints everywhere in our inner cities. Was it an oversight or what?
I think it's not even an oversight. It's the fact that the population tolerates them, and that information is not flowing enough to get to the restoration forces, or the restoration forces see it and they didn't think that it was a danger. They should now know that La Republic du Cameroon, wherever they are, they remain a danger to us. We have been able to take them out of the main axis, Chris, but they are inside the inner cities and the inner towns and inner villages of our people, and that's why they can have access to the population and destroy them the way they destroyed Jibril. This is unacceptable, and we should react. We should react and react forcefully. The Ambazonia Restoration Forces are ordered now to take out all checkpoints wherever they be in our cities. Of course, they have taken the ones of the main axis out, but the ones in the main city, it was I don't know whether it's an oversight or because the population tolerates, or I don't understand it. On a Sunday, what were they doing there on a Sunday, for heaven's sake?
Yeah, I really think the mistake we have made throughout this struggle is in allowing any military checkpoint to exist in any city, in any town in Ambazonia, because I think our boys are able, they have the courage, enough courage to go after these checkpoints, isn't it? I think we just forgot.
They do. It is a mistake on our part. Now that an eye opener has come, our restoration forces will act swiftly.
Now, I talked about the history of these checkpoints. Correct me if I am wrong. You are older than me. Yes. These checkpoints began the day we said yes and we to La République du Cameroun. They released their soldiers. Yeah. They released their soldiers into. I remember as a young boy, a little boy, I don't think I was up to 10 years old. I would go to the local market and you see those soldiers with their big pockets, hefty men, touting guns, and they will set up checkpoints at the entrance into every market, into the local market, and they will get every man well beaten to produce their ID cards and their taxes.
You didn't even see much because you are much younger, Chris. Look, when I went to the Southern Zone for the first time, well, not the first time. I was born in the Southern Zone, but I was taken up a little younger. We went back. This time they were asking for laissez-passer, and if an adult does not have a laissez-passer, he pays with everything he has in his pocket. And on market days, they do kale. We were kids. We'll see how the kale will do kale inside the market, and not only kale, they will also come at all the entrance of the markets and set up their checkpoints, and with heavy pockets, they are collecting 500 or what amount from people going in and out of the market. You don't have an identity card, you will pay. You must give them something before they allow you pass. I tell you, I don't understand this kind of. I don't understand it. Our people have been through hell, Chris, with these frogs. Thank God we are at the end of it.
Well, let us hope we are at the end of it. Let's really hope we are at the end of it. On our screen, we have the image of Jibri Injan, who was killed by the French Cameroon terrorist soldiers in Bamenda last Sunday. Have you found out, Barrister John, any information about him? Do you know anything about him?
No, it was just a young enterprising young man doing petty trading. He had his small home there in below Foncha. He was very well liked in the community. He was a very sociable person, and he was some kind of a quarter comedian, and he was loved by the people. I don't know what he had with this soldier, or they may be nothing. They just wanted to kill an Amazonian. Because I don't understand this young man. That's why you see the public mobilized in less than 30 minutes, because he was a popular man. Everybody loved him. Nobody had anything against him in the quarter where he lived. This is a young boy from Kumbu, from Bui, who happens, Bui is part Christian, part Muslim, part Protestant, and so on. He's a Muslim, and was living in below Foncha without any problems. He was not a fighter. Huh? Why kill him? Really? Why?
Well, Bishop, Barrister John, the interesting thing is that this particular act out there in Bamenda last Sunday is not very particular with Bamenda, because the same thing on July 2nd, a man, I think it's by the name of, called Asa Stephen Inja, a farmer in the Bamukumbit in Ketunjia, was pursued to his farm and slaughtered by French Cameroon soldiers the same way they slaughtered this man in Bamenda. Now, they did not only kill this man in his farm in Ketunjia, they planted explosive bombs all around the dead body, trapping other innocent civilians who would come for the cops. But unfortunately for them, Ambazonia Restoration Forces were there monitoring them, and they dealt with them. I have here with me Comrade Langmi Nestor, who is a spokesperson for Ngoketunjia Security Council and Ambazonia forces, to give us some updates about what happened in this other incident. Let me get to him first. Hello, Comrade Nestor.
Hello, Secretary Chris. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Tell us about this Pa Inja Stephen of Bamenda. What happened to him? This happened on July the 2nd. He was gunned down as in Bamenda, below 4th Street. Am I correct?
Pa Stephen was actually gunned down in his village in Bamenda, that is in Ngokutunja, precisely in Badikuma local government area. And he was a farmer. He was in his 70s, and because the Republic of Cameroon are so desperate, they have lost grip of our territory, they have lost control of our people, so they are in total desperation, and they just go around killing civilians. But unfortunately for them, our forces, the ARF, are in total control of the territory and of our people. So Pa Stephen Jah was a hard worker. He was a family man. He had many kids. Unfortunately for him that day, he was gunned down by La Republic of Cameroon terrorists. After he was gunned down, our forces were alerted and they responded very swiftly, and there was serious gun battle to the extent that helicopter gunship was sent to our forces, and our forces were able to send that helicopter away. It was a fierce battle, and I know because of communication, that information could not come out on time, but the situation is under control. La Republic tried to create a situation where they would draw the attention of the international community that we planted explosive for civilians to be killed. Unfortunately for them, it never go their way. So La Republic of Cameroon is desperate, but unfortunately civilians are going, and our people need to be very, very careful at this point.
Now, how did they follow up this Pa Stephen to his farm? I mean, there is no doubt in my mind they understood he's an elderly man. He was an elderly man, correct?
Yes, sir. He was in his 70s. What happened is that La Republic of Cameroon enablers in Yaoundé are working with some individuals in Badikuma local government area, in the central local government area, and the entire Ngokutunja County, to give them credible information of the movement of our restoration forces in that county. So they were deceived. The informant of these enablers deceived the enablers, and of course La Republic of Cameroon terrorists, that they saw Fima Shanopiti and his fighters pass through the village in the night of that was the previous night, and they sent these forces thinking that Fima Shanopiti was in that locality. That is why they had to send this helicopter gunship to fight for them, but the forces that were in that locality were able to overcome them. So they went actually to that village in their numbers, thinking that Fima Shanopiti was in that area, but that was not the case. They were deceived, and they will be the enablers will continue to deceive them. The blacklegs will continue to deceive them, because we have equally planted enough blacklegs in the community to betray them to us.
Now let us talk about this other incident below Foncha Street in Bamenda. The question that you are one of our military tactician out there. The question I asked Barrister John is, how come we got rid of French Cameroon soldiers monitoring our highways, but in the inner cities we allowed them to continue to mount checkpoints?
Well, the checkpoint mounted all over in Bamenda is a little bit disturbing. We know they are in Bamenda in their numbers, but we have a very, very massive plan ahead for them. I'm not going to review how we are going to execute that plan, but I want to assure the people of Meza, the people of Ambazonia, that in the days and weeks ahead, that problem will be solved. I will not explain it further, but La Republic has to answer for their crimes in Mezam, not just in Mezam, but all over Ambazonia.
Have you been able to touch a base with the restoration fighters in Bamenda in particular after this incident in the on Foncha Street?
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, it's because we have a plan put in place for this situation to be stopped in Bamenda. The forces were ready to retaliate, but because of the controversy over the death of this gentleman, Mr. Jibri, there's a lot of controversy over his death. I'm not going to reveal anything here because the investigation is on, and the Ambazonia National Self-Defense Council will get to the root cause of this, and the people of Ambazonia will need to know what actually transpired. We actually wanted to retaliate that was yesterday, but for some reason we got some information that was a little bit controversial. But whether Mr. Jibri was a criminal or not, he was still an Amazonian citizen, and he's supposed to be judged by our court, not the type of treatment that La Republic of Cameroon gave him. As of now, I'm going to reserve comment on this particular case because there is an active investigation going on. What actually transpired, what caused that incident to happen, and what Mr. Jibri was doing as a citizen of Ambazonia.
I have been told that he lived right within that vicinity where he was shot dead.
Yeah, that's correct.
But Sir John, let me bring you back in here. Listening to what Comrade Lagmi is saying, is there anything you think that could have been handled differently by from our own side?
No, the restoration forces were taken unawares. They could not have acted swiftly because they were taken unawares. But anything that they say about this young man, whether he was a criminal or was an ordinary citizen or whatever, that's why the courts are there. Was he ever arrested? You just stop a man and shoot through his windscreen. The bullet passes the windscreen and takes his chest and his heart. And he died without saying a word. Now you can make up stories about how he was this or that and that and that. All we know, all I've investigated and known is that he was living in that quarter. He was very popular among young people and among the people of the quarter. And the cause of his death is shock to every young man. You see the young people in the quarter. It's a shock because he was, first of all, he was also a comedian. I was meant to understand that he makes people laugh, you know. But whatever it is, if a young man commits a crime, you are supposed to arrest him, interrogate him, take statements, and send the matter to court. Well, they will argue that it's war, but even at war, you don't execute criminals. That's against the Geneva Convention.
I will ask both of you, you, Barrister John, and Comrade Langmi here, what advice would you give to our civilian population each time incidents like this take place? What advice would you give to our civilian population? Let me start with Comrade Lagmi.
Secretary Chris, thank you for that question. This is a revolution that was started by the civilian. We know the frustration the Republic of Cameroon government has imposed on them, and we know how they have suffered for the past 5 years. We are advising our civilian to be resilient because at this point we are not going to back down or back out of this struggle. We know our main goal here is to get to Boya, and there's nothing that is going to stop us from attaining that goal. We are calling on our civilian at this point to pay attention to some of the information that we will be sending out there, because the day will come, and the day is near, that La Republic will pack and leave our territory. We should be we should be very watchful in our communities to make sure that the civilian, most especially, abstain from anything like kidnapping for ransom, anything like blacklegs, because we are trying to figure out those who are working with La Republic of Cameroon terrorists to bring havoc in our communities. We will be giving instruction going forward when incident like this happen. We are not going to actually open up what is the plan behind, but the day is coming. The day is coming that La Republic of Cameroon will back and leave. I can assure everyone that let us all be motivated, let us stay strong, and let us know that we have a national duty to send out La Republic of Cameroon terrorists and their administrators.
Barrister John, sir, what would you suppose our civilians on ground zero should be doing each time something like this happens?
The population, like what you see there, like what has happened, like what happened, the population must know it's content. They must know that it's content. But these people that come viral, everybody in the world is seeing this. If we just keep quiet, it will continue like this. La Republic is getting the message that these young people are sending, all the population in below Poncha and Poncha Street and so on are sending to the world. They have to react because one of theirs has been taken, his life has been cut short for no reason. So the population should come out as they did on Sunday to show their discontent. It just so happened that Jibril is a Muslim, so you know their tradition, you have to bury early. Otherwise, they would have taken this body, the population was ready to take this body right to the military camp and dump it there. And that is a legitimate protest by the people. When you come into a quarter and take one of them the way they did. I mean, it is very, very painful. I'm talking now like a civilian. The public should react and react swiftly. So it's an eye opener. The Bamenda public now should be aware that anything can happen at any time.
Right, and I think I also made the point that I think the time we entertain all those checkpoints within our cities and towns in Ambazonia is over. I think the message that ground zero should be getting from this moment is that no more any checkpoint anywhere inside Ambazonia, not in Bamenda, not in Kumba, not in Victoria, not in Boya, not even in any village. Those communities, those locations with checkpoints should be made really, really uncomfortable to those soldiers manning the checkpoints. Am I wrong?
No, we are not. They should not even be made uncomfortable. They should be eradicated. Just like the boys, just like the population. You know, they took out that particular checkpoint. They took it out. It was burned down. So I think that is the beginning for them to know that those checkpoints in their quarter, it remains a danger for them.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Now, let us move to this other subject, talking about the harassment in the Bamenda main market, and of course, Nkwen and the food market in Bamenda. Barrister John, you are a lawyer. And we are in a situation of war. Our people are crying in this market. There is a conspiracy by two individuals, Abeze Abraham and Mbe Leonard. They are conniving with French Cameroon colonial officials to confiscate the shops of our people and get them turned over to French Cameroon Bamileki traders. What advice can you give to our traders on the ground besides the injunction, the threat that we're putting out there for Abeze and for Mbe?
Chris, before I answer that question, I'd like to take just 1 or 2 minutes and tell you about that market.
Okay.
That market was constructed in 1975 by Nanga Company. And every shed in that market was bought by the people, by the Ambazonians of Bamenda. You buy your shed and it remains your property inside that market. And even if you are not a trader, you can rent it out now to the traders.
Okay.
It is inconceivable that La République, after 1st of October 2017, will still attempt to collect taxes from Ambazonia without representation. There can be no taxation without representation. These people come that they want to come and collect taxes for what? To do what? What services have they brought to Ambazonia since we started this war? Since they brought this war to us. Now,
right.
They are collecting taxes from Bamenda every 3 times a year from the Bamenda market. First of all, the market tools belong to the Bamenda Council. But Bamenda Council does not have a mayor elected by the people. That mayor is not even a native of Bamenda. How was he appointed? How was he appointed and is now living in Bamenda Station and conniving with La République du Cameroon and those two so-called leaders to collect taxes from our people? You will want to know, Chris, that there is no other place where taxes are being paid in Amazonia to La République du Cameroon. Why are they doing it in Bamenda? Because they have the connivance of the so-called leaders and the mayor. That was stopped. There is no legal justification for paying taxes to La République du Cameroon right now from Bamenda or from anywhere in Amazonia. Now, those two, it's just that, of course, we're in a revolution. We don't have a country yet. We don't have the judicial system yet. We would have caused the arrest of those two and charged.
Now, I think we have no choice, Barrister John, but to arrest them if need be. I think they should get the message. They should get the message. If they do not stop the connivance and the confiscation of people's shops inside Bamenda Market, I promise them they too will not run any shop in Bamenda Market.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is not all. It's not only that they will not run any shop. They should be arrested by the Ambazonia Restoration Forces and treated as black legs, just like the interim government has taken a decision that all those so-called administrators and so on will arrest them and detain them to the end of the war.
Absolutely, absolutely. We don't have.
They should know that. They should know that the Ambazonia Restoration Forces now have eyes on them. If they continue to connive with La République du Cameroon and the so-called mayor, who now lives in Bamenda Station, he cannot live in town because he knows that he will be taken anytime. Our restoration forces should arrest those two and put them somewhere until the end of the war.
That will be done. I am hoping that they get the message of today. If they do not get the message of today, if they get the message of today and wave it aside as if it means nothing, the next thing will be, I will put their images here and I will then forward them to the restoration forces and they will take care of them. That will be the next step. I didn't want to put up the images. Go on,
And
please.
that mayor who is living in Bamenda Station should know that if he missteps in Bamenda town, he will be picked up and locked up until the end of the war.
Absolutely, that will be the only other option that we take, and not only that mayor, but those who are conniving with him inside the Bamenda market, the people with those shops attachments, and those who are being chased and their shops confiscated because of so-called taxes, that has to come to an end.
And Chris, those Bamileke people who are conniving and buying those shops, they should be going to their country. You see, this is because of the leniency of the Ambazonian people. Since this war started, Chris, not one La Republic citizen has died because of this war.
You are very right.
And now they are poking their hands into our eyes, right into the market. Hey, look, any Bamileke man who buys a shirt inside Bamenda market should be arrested, and I don't know.
I think that's a very, very good point. That's any person, any Bamileke man buying a shop inside Bamenda market, we would have to know who owned that shop before.
Yes, that's it.
Yes, we would have to find out who owned that shop, from who did he or she buy that shop from. This impunity has to stop, and we must make sure Ambazonians own what belongs to them.
Correct.
All right. Barrister John, I was going to be joined by Bishop John Egiawan for another subject, but unfortunately, he could not join. I am going to open the phone line. Let's take some quite a handful of calls from Ground Zero and know what the people are thinking on Ground Zero. I'm going to take quite a good number of calls. I still have some good time left, and let's take some time and answer their question. So please, if you are on Ground Zero, before you call, make sure that your television set, the volume of your television set is shut down. Make sure before you call, the volume of your TV set is shut down. So please, the phone lines are open. You are free to discuss or ask a question on any subject. It's an open line today. All right. So, Barrister John, I was saying that French Cameroon is increasing their barracks, opening new barracks everywhere. We have learned of 500 soldiers sent to Bafia to occupy Bafia. We have learned of a village in Manu, between the boundary of Manu and Le BLM. They set up a camp there just last week. They have about 300 soldiers there. It doesn't appear like French Cameroon is about to withdraw, is about to end this war. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong, Chris. Let me say this. You remember what happened in Bamali? That
Right.
should happen. Our restoration forces should make that happen to all those camps that are being set up by La Republic of Cameroon. They want to get rid of their young people. So be it. All what is going to happen is that our restoration forces now have a lot of work to do. They should not only go after them at battle, they should go after their camps anywhere in Ambazonia. Those little camps that they are setting up, I don't know what their game plan is. They have lost the war and they don't want to accept, and now they are bringing little camps. They go to a village where the village is a little bit away from the city. They set up a camp. Imagine that they will go to Bafia. What is there in Bafia that they will go and set a camp in Bafia? What is there?
Well, look at my small Azie. I'm sure all of us we've seen the images where those
Yes,
French Cameroon soldiers wearing a UN helmets were burning.
Yes,
Azie. Look at that small place. What are they doing there? They have been there forever. That's where they have the second biggest camp in Libya. What are they doing
everybody
there?
there is a farmer. Everybody there is a farmer. What are they doing there?
But
You think back here.
Barrister John, let us take this home. I want everybody listening to me to take this home. Ladies and gentlemen, if we do not win this war, God forbid, we do not win this war, those camps shall never again live. La Republic will make sure every little village in Ambazonia has a military camp. And they will crush us one by one. The 60s will be nothing to what compared to what is going to happen if by any means, we lose this war.
Chris, don't scare me. Don't scare me because we're not going to lose this war.
Well, I have to say it so our people know what is exactly at stake.
If that happens, we are finished. If that happens, we are finished. But it's not going to happen in God's name. Let me tell you, our people, our restoration forces are up to the task. They will take one after the other. Take Libya. T. Marshall has already entered Menzi. He has entered Menzi. Where they had those camps, he has decimated all of them. And it takes time, but it will be done. It will be done, Chris. These people are going into Batia, small Batia. I know Batia now is
right. It's a small cocoa farm.
Yes,
cocoa settlement, yeah.
They are going there for what? To go and extort money from the farmers.
Right.
Extort money, cocoa money from the farmers. That's why they are going there. We, our restoration forces, should take note and go after them. Go after them wherever we are going to put enough material into their hands to enable them do the work. In fact, the work is much, but we either do it or we die. La Republic of Cameroon is not about to give up, even with the losses they are incurring. They are not about to give up. So we should make sure that this draft coming up, this draft that has started, everybody should draft. Everybody should draft like you've never drafted before. Because that is the only thing that we can do to save motherland.
All right. Let me get this caller, Barrister John, who has been waiting online. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Good evening, Secretary.
Hello, good evening, sir. May I know where you are calling from, please?
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Where are you calling from?
I'm from Gokutunja LG, County, sorry.
In Gokutunja County, okay. Thanks for calling. What is your contribution?
Yeah, talking about the issue of the death of Shibril. I don't think.
I'm sorry, your connection is not good, sir. Your connection is quite bad. Let's get to the next person here. Hello. Hello. Well, please, before you call, make sure that the volume of your set is shut down. Hello. This is a bad connection here. Before you call again, make sure that the volume of your set is turned down before you call, please. I can't call having your background distorted all over the place. Okay, let's get to the next caller here. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Can you turn down the volume of your TV and focus on the phone, sir?
Yeah, turn down.
Okay, where are you calling from, please?
I'm calling from Ground Zero especially Bamenda.
All right, thank you for the call. What is your contribution?
Yeah, I just want to encourage my brothers and my sister out there that since La Republic, you make a statement that La Republic are not giving up. We should not give up. It's an encouragement for us. There is one thing we have to know about the truth. The truth is us. We are the truth. We are the truth. So they cannot scare us more than the way they scare us before. We are now. We know them. We know their names. We know. We have seen their faces. We have seen what they carry, and we are ready for them. That is all I have to say, Mr. Chris. And I want to thank you people. Thank you people so much. And I pray that God will guide you people. We will never give up. We will never give up because we have made a lot of losses in North and Southwest. In Ambazonia country, we have made a lot of losses and we are still losing it. We are not going to give up.
All right.
We are not going to give up.
Thank you. You guys remain safe, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's get to the next caller here. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Sir Chris.
Hello, good evening, sir. May I know where you are calling from, please?
Yes, I'm calling from Germany.
From Germany, okay. What is your contribution, sir?
Yes, the first thing I wish to talk about, or maybe my contribution, goes to the talk you had about sending away the military from all our localities. I think if we have to really do this, there should be a security meeting that will sit, and then the military penalized. Overnight, if posts or control posts are shattered, automatically these guys will not be found anywhere in our cities or maybe in our neighborhoods to an extent that you was killed. So if we come on air and we talk about sending them out, it's an opportunity for them to go scot-free. We should instead have a way to see it done in a way that they will be forced out of our cities, not only forced out, before going out, they are already going out, maybe with half legs, and maybe some of them already sent to talk to a Kema. And then secondly, the issue about the draft. I have talked about this time without number to my friends and maybe to you to a call years back. I said the easiest way for us to contribute money to the draft is to look at it very clearly that if all our local government areas are working, then the diaspora is going to contribute millions either by force or by hope.
What do you mean by all the local government areas if they are working? What do you mean?
From every indication, there are some lapses in some local government areas, and if all the restoration forces in all local government areas are working the way they should, then all the names of all the people in the diasporas who can contribute, who are not willing to contribute, will be identified from their local government, and then this is channeled and this money is collected by force, just like what happened in Eritrea. And this is very easy. If you refuse to contribute, your name will be read, and your not even read, the local government will take responsibility to make sure that the money is collected, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, you make a valid point there. However, to say that all the local government areas should be working, of course, it can never happen at the same level. But that should not be an excuse for any Ambazonian not to draft, because at the end of the day, whether a local government works or doesn't work, Ambazonia cannot be free with some local governments left behind. So yes, I agree with you. There should be a way to compel every Ambazonian in the diaspora to pay for the war, but we should not pin it on whether or not the local government is doing something or not doing something. Some will fall first, some will come after. Let me allow Barrister John to answer you, please.
Yes, I agree with him that every Ambazonian worth in salt should draft. every Ambazonian should draft. But accusing the local government areas will not carry it. Not all local government areas have the same strength like others. You will have disparity here and there, but the principle is the same. All of us would draft, and put the money in the hands of our restoration forces so that the materials can come and they do the work that they have to do. I agree with him. Everybody should draft. But the only thing I don't agree is saying that there are lapses here and there. Yes, like any other government, there are lapses, but it will take time. We are doing our best to put some order into the LGAs. That's why you have structures like the IOC. You have structures like internal controls. You have structures like the government itself. We make sure that everybody drafts and the money is properly used. But to say that there are lapses, yes, there are lapses in every organization, but ours is not different. But we are working hard to make sure that those lapses are reduced to fruition. I can promise you that the draft this year is going to make a difference. Chris,
Hello, good evening, Secretary Chris.
All right, we'll get to the next caller here. Hello, sir.
Well, good evening.
Good evening. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Northern Zone.
Okay, and what is your contribution, sir?
At Kumbu.
Precisely at Kumbo. Okay, what is in your mind?
Okay, let me explain myself in Pidgin.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Secretary Chris. What you have the one for talk plenty now about our brother where they kill him for Sunday.
Okay.
So you see, say the word then also in it say me they put Mongo fire, and I be glad say we don't already start drop, and I see say the drop go down already bless them for the way where they don't start them, because last year we know we get how we get this year. So with the town now plenty where we they do them. With the town all people then where they put their face like how we bar John through you and all the others. Mona Joe put the power so with the promise winner. Say even by hand, if we look what will happen for Bamenda for Sunday. That population now go now we gone. It will be last time where we will come out with that grass, so they be shoot plenty. But they don't shoot one. People them come out with grass. Arm run. They burn that place where they stand. How on they talk say me they close all that checkpoint them. All the checkpoint them go close by population. Before our restoration forces go and come the reach where population don't close them. That people them must go. With the promise for that one. Now say me put power for drop them very well. Thank you.
All right, thank you. You guys remain safe out there. All right. I can see the determination of Ground Zero to take this war to the end, and they can keep on killing. We will take it to the end, and we are glad that Ground Zero is very, very determined. Ground Zero, very, very determined. Let me read this message here. It says, hello, Secretary Chris. With my knowledge of strategic studies, I have always wondered how people can host enemy barracks, checkpoints, and evil administrators in a war. Bring all simultaneously, bring all down simultaneously all over Amba land. It should never be done incrementally. Now, the last word, but one caller was asking, Why are we discussing this over the air? We should just go ahead and perform the act. It is very, very simple. We have to discuss this because every Ambazonian on ground zero is a fighter. And they have the right to do what they can do given the opportunity to bring down those checkpoints. Barrister John.
Yes, and this medium is a powerful medium of communication between us and ground zero.
Yes.
And we have to give that instruction directly so that anybody who wants to hear it, the public can hear it and take it to the bank for all I care.
If they hear it and vanish, is that not what we want?
Yeah, that's what we want.
But if they don't want to go, let them come and man those checkpoints. The checkpoints will go with them.
Yes, that is the point. We must make them know that we are ready for them. Let them come and with those checkpoints again. And the death of that young man cannot go unpunished.
Absolutely.
That's a promise.
Absolutely.
We must let them know. We cannot be hiding. You hide and do what? We have to do what we have to do.
It just doesn't appear to me like some people have realized that this is war that we are in. They think that we should we should continue to give code names to certain things as we used to do, sticks and peanut. That time is gone.
You remember the Nigerian Biafran War?
Yeah.
You remember a cocoa name?
Of course. I hear a lot of people remind me of him.
So our television is a very powerful medium. We have to use it to inform our people. We have to use it to make sure that our people know what they are doing, and they have to do it. Let La Republique, if they want to come out, all of them, let them come. We are after the administrators. We have not made any. We are not going to hide. We will collect. We will arrest anybody passing for a GO, a SDO, a delegate, or whatever. We will arrest you and keep you to the end of the war. We arrest the mayors that we did not elect. We arrest the mayors that we did not elect. We arrest councillors that we did not elect. We arrest parliamentarians that we did not elect, and we will keep you to the end of the war. We are not going to apologize to anybody. We are passing a message. Because they cannot continue to kill our people, and we sit quiet and hiding because we don't want to talk on make it talk to them. We will take them down.
Absolutely. Let's get to this next caller here. Hello.
Hello, Sir Chris.
Please, can you turn down the volume of your TV set and focus on the phone, please?
The volume is down.
All right, thank you. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from the state of Indiana.
Okay, thanks for the caller. What is your contribution?
Yeah, I have two things here. One is for the Ambazonian that their stores are being taken away in Bamenda market. Now, the Bamileke people that are buying the store, they are accomplices. We should treat them like that. If you buy a store there, and it's because of what is going on, we should confiscate that store. When time comes, we should not just let them go, because if we don't start from confiscating those stores from them, they will continue to behave the way they are behaving. That should be part of the deal.
Well, that is the point that I made, that any store, any shop confiscated in any Bamenda market for non-payment of taxes or for non-payment of the attachment, that, as I learned, they call it, we would have to find out who they are selling to and from who they are buying. That way we can establish whether this shop was taken from Ambazonians and given to French Cameroon citizens.
Yes, and then the second thing is, you see, like this, the so-called mayor that was not elected by the people of Bamenda. You see, they sit comfortable in the station and they're misbehaving and sending other people to be doing what they are doing. Now, I'm proposing this. It's just a suggestion. If they can drive, I'm ready to pay. They drive and raise some money
and the security seems to start going behind. Because see what happened to this guy that was killed. The guy had, we don't know if he had a child, a family. They will not go without the father, the son, whoever. Now we can raise some money and we start going behind. For example, the mayor, he go behind his family too. And these people, they also have people that go to market to buy for them. You think they don't eat? We can create a small, create something and start researching and getting information about these people that are hiding in that station and committing this atrocity.
Well, that's a good point. We will leave it in the hands of the Ambazonia Restoration Forces. You made a very, very good point. Those people, they also go to those shops, to those markets, they buy food, they have families, and when they kill others, other people's families, they deserve death. Thank you for the call.
Thank you.
Barrister John, anything to add there, please?
No, I totally agree with the caller, because you cannot be hiding and then sending your wife, your children to go and buy food, you come and eat, and you are there hiding and getting other people's children killed. No, it cannot work.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's get on to the next caller here. Okay. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Can you turn down your television, please?
Okay. Good evening, sir.
Turn down the volume of your TV first.
I've done it.
All right. Where are you calling from, ma'am?
I'm calling from the northern zone.
Okay.
And a trader in the Bamenda main market.
Oh, you are a trader in the Bamenda main market.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I first want to start by appreciating your work.
Yes, go on, go on.
Yes, I want to start by appreciating your work. God will richly bless us all in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Yes, sir. What my point is this. We are not only talking about the Bambilikis buying the shirts, but there is a team that is still moving around the market. They call themselves price control. They come around 3 times in a year, collecting 5,000 francs each time they are passing, claiming they are controlling prices, but of which they don't even enter the shop to even ask a price of anything. And when you hesitate, when a trader hesitates to pay the money, maybe because he or she does not yet have, you want to come the next day, your shop is sealed. It is really disturbing. And they even come in uniform.
They come in uniform?
Yes, sir. And they say they are price control. They at the beginning of the year, they will come, they will give you a paper, a receipt, and you pay 5,000. And in the middle of the year, that's in June, they will pass again, you pay another 5,000. And in December, they say it's end of year control price, you pay another 5,000. That is 15,000 per shirt. And if you calculate that for the whole of Bamenda main market, I'm sure it's also in other markets. We don't know. It's huge sum of money.
Tell me about these attachments that we are hearing about. What are these attachments that we learn they are asking for 1 million francs from those who own it?
Yes, sir. About these attachments, what is happening is people who were already in those attachments that are not owners of the shed, they want them to because they held a meeting with all the members of attachment, and then they send some of the people who are not the owners of the attachment, they send them out. That if you know that you are not a real owner of an attachment, go out. They want to talk just with those who really own it. There are people there who are on rent, so they send them out, held a meeting with the owners of the shed, And then after that, I don't know what happened. It was like people were protesting in the market. They even had to strike for a day without opening their sheds. And then they say they had to pay $1 million something. The price is not yet fixed. So that they can reconstruct the sheds.
When they were protesting, what were they saying? What was the message?
They didn't really protest. They just locked their sheds and they didn't open the sheds.
Now, have any of these attachments been sold yet, or they are just people are just paying rent and sitting there?
No, some of the people selling in the attachment owns it, but some are renting. And what from the best of my knowledge, what I know is that there are some people who are renting from third parties. So now they want to send them out of the sheds.
Is it the people they are renting from who want to send them out of the shed, or the council?
No, the council. The council want to send them out of the shed so that they can now take their sheds and give it to other people.
And we'll learn precisely they want to give it out to Bamenda Keys.
Exactly.
All right. Now, I mentioned the name of Abeze Abraham and Mbe Leona, who are supposed to be management leaders in the Bamenda market. Do you know them?
No, sir, I don't know them.
Okay. Any other thing you wanted to ask?
No, sir, it's just that control price is really disturbing because the business is not even moving. And then they are coming every day and collecting money that we don't even, the funniest thing is that they don't even control. We don't see what they control with that money. They don't control any price. They just come and give you a receipt. They don't even enter your shop to check whether you are selling but what. No. They just stand at the door and say, Madam, take, this is your receipt, 5,000.
Okay, all right. Thank you for the call. I hope they get our message. Thank you for the call.
Thank you, sir. You're welcome.
Okay, let's get to the next caller here. I think this is... Hello. Please turn down the volume of your set, please. Calling from Limbe, Victoria. Am I correct? Hello.
You are correct, Secretary Chris.
You are calling from Victoria. Okay, thank you. How was Victoria yesterday? Are they beginning to observe Ghost Town?
Yes, they are beginning to observe Ghost Town, but these Bamenda guys who are riding Okadas here in Limbe, they don't respect Ghost Town. And now the La Republic Council is out blocking people's shop, the trader shops in the market, demanding for 2.something million to be paid.
Do they send messengers? They send messengers into the shops or what?
They send their messengers, and there is this guy who is heading that group who is living in Sokolo. So we want to send him a warning that we know where he's living and we know what they are doing.
What is his name? Do you know his name?
Yeah, I will get the name. I will tell you because they are introducing other names, different names that they are using in the fee. They themselves, they know that if our guys know their name, but we know where he's living in Sokolo.
Yes, very important to know where all those officials, colonial officials who come around collecting taxes, they live, because that's the best place to locate them if they will not heed to our warnings. I think the same thing is going on in Kumba Main Market and Fiango too.
Yes, and they are doing this, Secretary Chris, they are doing this because the Igbo people who are using the old market, they don't want to respect that. Force them not to be respecting Ghost Town, that their shop must be, they have to open their shops and they have to sell so that they can pay their taxes and they can pay them, and they are using this Monday for everybody to open his or her shop so that people can go to their shop, and if you don't want to go and open, they will seize the shop from you and give it to somebody else.
And that
is
person
the
will be a
trade they are putting
francophone.
out. They will give it to anybody who is willing to be opening his shop or her shop
on Monday
during our Ghost Town on Monday. So we are telling everyone that is at all markets here in Victoria that this is not Limbe, this is Victoria. They should be very careful, because we and our boys, we are going to come after them one by one. So they should be very, very careful. We are still looking at Limbe, even though Limbe is a place we consider as a town that people have come to take refuge, but they should not think that we are afraid to attack Limbe or to do anything with Limbe, because all these, they are colonial military people who are on the road, only asking money from tanker drivers and truck drivers. We are watching them because we will surprise them. It has started in Bamenda. Let them be full assured that we have to remove all their checkpoints. You have about 9 or 7 checkpoints before you reach Mutengene along the Limbe Highway road.
Come on. 9 checkpoints within Limbe, Victoria, and Mutengene?
You have one checkpoint at Bokom. You have another checkpoint at Old Sone entrance. You have another checkpoint at Welcome to Limbe. You have another checkpoint at Mama E entrance at My 4. You have another checkpoint at My 4 roundabout. You have another checkpoint at the police entrance at My 4. You have another checkpoint at My 4 Park.
And there used to be one other checkpoint around Amba. Am I correct?
Ombe, you have it there. You have routiers that are there and Ombe with Shandam, and at Big Mob Market you have another control. Then at Mobile, Mutengene itself, you have another checkpoint. You have another control there.
Barrister John, this is what we're talking about here.
Yes, Chris.
Thank you for the call.
Listen. The Paco Restoration Forces should do something. We cannot continue like that.
Absolutely not.
They should do something. Tell the caller that, the caller should know that we are asking for the Paco Restoration Forces to take out all those checkpoints. Take them all out. And also enforce ghost towns in all over Limbe, including those shops owned by Igbo people. They have to respect our laws if they have to do business in our territory.
All right. This is quite troubling. That with how many kilometers, Barrister John, is it between Victoria and Mutengene? Is it up to? Is it up to 15?
It's about 25 kilometers from Victoria, from Down Beach to Mutengene. It's about 25 kilometers. But you know, with the towns on the road, with the cities on the road, the distance is not much.
That is unbelievable. 9 checkpoints within 25 kilometers. Can you believe that? That's essentially a military state.
Yes.
I hope that the Amazonian restoration fighters in FACO, they are listening to us. Every one of those checkpoints have to go.
La Republic is desperate, Chris. They want money at all costs. They want money at all costs.
Hello,
sir. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. May I know where you're calling in from, please?
I'm calling from neighboring La Republique.
Okay, thanks for the call. What is in your mind?
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank God God for you all for what you're doing. We encourage you. I wanted to advise that there are Ambazonians
Are you frozen?
down this way who want to be actively part of the CID, and so please, you people should get us how one can be part of the CID.
All right. Thank you. It's great to hear that. I will.
How one can do it.
Yes, I believe most of you on ground zero, you have debit cards, right? Master or Visa cards, do you? For ATM cards.
No. Yes.
Yeah, if they are Master or Visa, you should be able to go on the website ambazoniagov.org and sign up for your CID very easily.
Okay, down here we are not very used to those things. It is over there that you guys are very used to those things. So, then the second thing I wanted to advise is that how we can get in touch, with our LGAs. I mean, in terms of supporting somehow, because we have to be this down here. So you guys can put the contacts, maybe in some of your programs, put the contacts on the screen like you're doing now, like we are watching.
Okay.
Put the contacts on your screen of the various LGA chairpersons. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Yeah, when we come up live, we will try to see we can have that information rolling on the screen for some of you out there who need it to copy. Thanks for the call. Let's get to the next caller here. Hello. 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 Well, the caller is not picking the call. Okay, Barrister John.
Yes, sir.
All right, hold on, please. Let me get this caller first. Hello? Hello? All right. Hello?
Hello, good evening, Secretary Chris.
Good evening, sir. May I know where you are calling in from, please?
Yeah, I'm calling from Maryland.
Okay, what is in your mind, sir?
Yes, sir, I just want to say something concerning the checkpoints in all over Amazonia. As we are talking about the restoration forces, I think the whole of the population have to support the restoration forces, because all those checkpoints in the middle of the town and everywhere, we cannot leave it only in the hands of the restoration forces.
You are very correct, and that is the reason why, as somebody was questioning before, why putting it on television instead of calling the restoration forces and talking to them. That is the reason we are saying it here, putting it out here, that it is the responsibility of every Ambazonian on ground zero. You don't have to be an ARF to pull down those checkpoints. It is the duty of every Ambazonian out there. If you cannot pull down those checkpoints, you can pull down those uniform guys. Do it. Go on, sir.
Yes, as I was saying, absolutely, the population are also terrified. Not only the restoration forces, they start money not from the restoration forces, but from the general population.
Right.
So, if as they rose up yesterday in Bamenda, if they can do that everywhere in Amazonia, they are going to put down all the checkpoints. They don't have to wait for the restoration forces. I think the action that took place in Bamenda should be, I think, should be something like a start point for every place in Amazonia to rise up, like those people in Bamenda and people in the market too. The marketers, the people who own shops should, they should have like come together and say we don't want anybody to pay a dime from this market. If they do that, those people cannot come and seal all the shops at one time. If those people in the market say, we don't want you here, we don't vote you, there is nothing they're going to do. If everybody comes out in a mass, the military are not going to shoot at them. So what they have to do is to rise up like a mob, then go destroy all the checkpoints. And they're not going to stop there. They're not going to stay there when there is no checkpoint. So absolutely. I'm just urging the population and everybody that they should not leave everything in the hands of the restoration forces. Coming to the point of the draft, I think every village knows who is in diaspora from that village. If we say the chairman or whatever, the population of each village should be able to bring out people who are in their community and who are not contributing to help the chairman with their work. You cannot leave the chairman out from like one village and not two, so they cannot know everybody from each village. So I want to just say that all the other populations should also help in sorting out those people from those villages who are in diaspora, so that they can hold them in task to pay their draft. If they don't pay the draft, they shouldn't do any activity back home. Some of them go back home, they buy land, they take advantages to buy land, and not knowing that people are fighting for that land for them to come and bid. If they don't contribute now and come when the war is over, they're going to be who fought for the war. So that is just my own contribution. That you see, if the population leave everything in the hands of the restoration forces, we're not going to succeed. We're not going to succeed.
Thank you. You make the point, sir. Thank you. Have a great day.
Good point. Very good point.
Okay, Barrister John, you have something to add there? Go on,
no,
please.
The caller has made a very good point. Very good point. Because we know each other. We know where our villages. We know all the people who are in the diaspora who are not contributing. Right. We know what we will know what to do when the time comes.
Okay, let me read this message from Ground Zero. Good evening, sir. Is that the anchor man on ABC? Please, I have a contribution. There should be 3 days ghost town in Bamenda or Amba land to cry away military in market tax hunters. Okay, all right. Let me get this other caller here. Hello.
Hello, Secretary Chris.
Hello, good afternoon, sir. I guess you are calling from the liberal state of Maryland. Am I correct?
Very correct, Secretary Chris.
Okay, what is your contribution, sir?
I wish to appreciate the callers that are calling from home concerning giving us updates on those who continue to collect taxes. And that it's important, some of them just take a cover, get us their pictures, so that we can hand them to our ARF to get to them.
Comrade, don't worry about those pictures. We have those pictures. We are giving them an opportunity to change. If they will not change with the warnings we are passing out from here, then we will release those pictures and hand them over to the restoration forces.
Secondly, Secretary Chris, I got an audio about some gang of people in Momo claiming that the LGA by LGA or county by county has been the worst thing so far. It's a big lie. LGA by LGA is not tribalistic because fighters are free to fight anywhere in Amazonia. You must not be from that LGA to fight in that LGA. The concept was to help us respond to to do response and be able to strategize and help our forces.
Hold on there, comrade. You are 100% correct. And let me add also that the ADF, when they cannot fight, they have launched fundraiser upon fundraiser from Changshu to total takeover to those big those big name total takeover, stabilization and so on and so forth. And yet, yes, and they will not fight anywhere, and they are the first to tell you, county by county, local government is tribalistic, and they have accused the BLM, Field Marshal in particular, saying Field Marshal stop anybody from the northern zone and fighting in the BLM. It will surprise them, not Ambazonian, but those ADF talks, to know that yesterday, Barrister John, an AROF was killed, was ambushed in the BLM by La République du Cameroon forces. I believe if you go to the social media, you will see his photo there. Yeah. Guess where he was from? He was from Donga, Manto.
He was from Donga, Manto.
Yes.
Yeah.
Comrade, go on, please. Go on, complete your thought.
So it is important for us to educate our people. Our people should be well educated to understand that this concept of LGA by aging has come to rescue our revolution, has come to rescue our struggle. So people like John Ba Akoro, who has been looking for all means to destabilize our revolution, who are working with some tough government officials in Yaoundé, should not derail our people. When people get such audios from those gang of rooks, we should be very, very careful about these people. So tell the secretaries, it is very important that, as one caller said there, let us make LGA leaders to be known by the communities, so that we'll have their contact, so that they can get to them when there are some issues to be trashed and discuss with them. That is the little I wanted to put in for our revolution. Thank you so much, Secretary.
Thank you. And you are very correct about the need for those LGA and county leaders to put themselves out here to be seen. We have a draft that is coming up, or that started. You would think that the LGA's chairs and the county chair will be rushing and booking time on ABC to come on ABC to talk about their LGAs in the county. Barrister John, they don't. They want us to run after them. I'm not going to give anybody a phone call if you're not sensitive enough to know that this is the time you should be reaching out to your people. I'm sorry? Manu didn't come. Manu has not.
They have to come and advertise the draft on Saturday. I don't know what is wrong with our people. Manu. Anyway, I know that Manu should come because Comrade Willie, the chairman of Manu, is a very active man. He should come on ABC and come with his people and with his LGAs, and they talk about the draft on ABC. I think you keep Secretary Chris, if you can remind them, you do that so that before Saturday they must have come on ABC.
It's quite unfortunate what they are doing, and tomorrow they will come out and cry foul, oh, we didn't draft enough money, when they cannot even do an outreach on ABC, their own mass media, their own mass media instrument. They can use it.
Well, we are hoping that my will on ABC this week, all of this week.
Exactly. Well, I don't have to do any other show this week. I thought they were going to reach out Sunday to deal with me yesterday or today, but none of them reached out. None of them reached out. Oh, I didn't realize this distraction here.
It's a very powerful unit.
All right. Let's get this other caller here. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Secretary Chris. Good evening to you.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
Hello. Well, actually, I'm calling from the Lion's Mouth in France.
In France. Okay. What is your contribution, sir?
Thank you very much. My contribution is actually we've been hearing all what people have been saying. And the real thing which is important right now, I would love to ask this from the lawyer, because please, lawyer, what are the possible means through the international law that we can teach our restoration forces back home about all these checkpoints that are actually taking place in our own homeland? This I don't know. I don't want to adjectify people, but all these checkpoints, what are the way now we can guide our own boys so that they could destroy these things intelligently through the international law? This question actually goes to the lawyer, because he could help us to teach these children back home what are the principal ways of handling this situation, getting these things being destroyed, infiltrating in all our marketing system, which is the Kumba market, the Victoria market, the Bamenda market, the Manfi market. So this boy should be able to have a good gist of how they are actually going to go in and then hit the stuff at the right point.
Comrade, you make a good point, but I do not think it is the right thing to sit on television and tell them how they go.
Thank you very much.
Right. It's not the right thing.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I just had this opportunity because the barrister said something later on. We are there in. We can't just sit down like this and then we leave people to come and destroy our own national way of living. That is infiltrating inside us. We are on the social media. Okay, we should say everything. That's why I came out. But Secretary Chris, I have confidence in you. Through the help of barrister who is by your side, we can now infiltrate this message to our boys to guide them out of the international law.
You are very correct, comrade. As far as international law is concerned, leave that to Barrister John. As far as the strategy is concerned, leave that to our military guys. They know exactly what to do. Barrister John, let me come in here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for the caller. The caller should know that our Ambazonian restoration forces have been well educated on the Geneva Convention concerning war. You know, all those checkpoints in our towns and our villages are military targets. They are covered under the military targets. Anything happening to them, they are protected by the law. So that is all I can say. Conventional war is governed by the Geneva Convention, and our military has been very, very good at educating our fighters as to that law. So that's why you don't see our fighters involved in commission of genocide or war crimes or crimes against humanity. That's all I can say.
Thank you, Barrister John. And I think it is also very, very important that our people know, our people on the ground should know that what we are talking about here is part of this war. It's part of this war. It is, I mean, they declared the war on us, and we must go after every single of their institutions, be it the police, the gendarme, the army. Our goal is to eliminate them, extinguish them from our territory. And these checkpoint things, by this time next week, there should be no one checkpoint left inside Bamenda, Kumba, Victoria, Boya, Mamfe, Tiko, Mutengene. There should be no checkpoint left, not on any highway. I think the boys in Bali have set a very good example. No checkpoint, no checkpoint inside any town, any city in Ambazonia. Let me get to the next caller here. Hello, sir.
Yeah, good evening, Secretary Chris.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from the Abakwa.
Okay. Tell me what is your contribution?
Please, Secretary Chris, I think of fighters on the ground need at least RPG and explosive to take up all these checkpoints around. If our fighters have RPG and all the like, it will take us short time to clear all these rubbish, like public checkpoints around town. Thank you.
Thank you. You are absolutely correct, and that is the reason why we are asking every Ambazonian out there to go out and drive. Go out and drive. That is the only way we get RPGs for those boys on ground zero. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think that will be the last caller. Barrister John, let me give you the last chance to send a message to ground zero, especially relating to these checkpoints and their elimination. By this time next week, we want to see every checkpoint gone. Barrister John.
Dear Ambazonians, you know what we are up to. We are at war. So the population on ground zero, assisted by by the Ambazonia Restoration Forces, should do everything to take out all the checkpoints that are in our villages, in our towns, everywhere in our quarters. If you see any military outpost, report to the Restoration Forces, and the population should come out and make sure that nobody sets any checkpoint in their quarter. That's the first point. Second point, the lady in the market. I want to tell you, let me repeat myself. There is no taxation without representation. We left La République du Cameroun since 1st of October 2017, and we are not going to pay any taxes anymore to La République du Cameroun. So if anybody, look, you people should organize yourselves in the market and make sure that you don't pay any money to anybody in the name of taxes. There is no way that La République has any right, as I speak, to come to any market in Ambazonia and ask for taxation. Not anymore. Please, nobody should bother about taxes, about patang, about whatever. Don't pay any taxes. Don't listen to the so-called price control. They are all thieves. The receipt that they are giving you, where are they taking receipts from? If they are receipts, they are public receipts. They are not supposed to collect taxes in our territory till the end of this conflict, and we know where everything is standing. Please, don't pay any taxes. I'm talking especially to my people in Bamenda market. All the markets in Bamenda, all the markets in Kumba, all the markets in Victoria, all the markets in wherever, in Mampe and all over. Don't pay any taxes to anybody. Not even the 100 francs that they come around, they are collecting. By the way, Ambazonia did not elect any mayors or councillors. So they have no right to collect anything from any market. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Barrister John. It was a pleasure to have you, sir. You have a great evening there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this broadcast, but before I go, I'd like to remind every one of you out there on Ground Zero, when we are talking about declaring war on checkpoints, again, this is not just about the Ambazonia Restoration Forces This has to do with every Ambazonian. Whatever quarter that you live in, identify if there be any checkpoint in that quarter. It is your responsibility in that quarter to burn down and destroy that checkpoint. And it will even be better if those checkpoints are burned down with those uniformed men over there. This is war. Burned down every checkpoint, military checkpoint in your quarter. Don't wait for the Ambazonia Restoration Forces. You go do it yourself to express your anger, your indignation against the killing of our people that La Republic of Cameroon continues to carry out in the territory. In Kumba, in Victoria, in Tiko, in Kumbo, in Jakiri, in Bamenda, in Bale, in Batibo, every checkpoint and the rest of the places, let every checkpoint come down. I call it Operation War against checkpoints. Operation War against every checkpoint that you find in Ambazonia. We cannot be living as slaves, as conquered people for 60 years. That's essentially what it is. That's essentially what it is. We have been living as conquered people for 60 years. Or how else do you explain that within 25 kilometers, you have nine military checkpoints? Ladies and gentlemen, every one of them must go down, permanently so. Let that place be so hot, those uniformed people have no place to live in Ambazonia. All right. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for those of you in the markets in Bamenda, in Kumba, in Victoria. Please, you can trust that this interim government has your backs. We will go after every colonial conniver and actor coming to the market to squeeze money that they do not earn from you. All right. Thank you for tuning in. God bless you all. I look forward to coming back on Monday. God bless. And we shall overcome. Certainly so.